Students, today we will revise voice in our new grammar plus. ठीक है, रूल्स आप मेरी दूसरी वीडियो में देख सकते हैं. अभी हम स्टार्ट करते हैं. अच्छा चलो ना, आपको ये तो पता होगा कि वॉइस होती हैं दो टाइप की, एक्टिव वॉइस और पैसिव वॉइस. ठीक है, एक्टिव वॉइस वो होती है जिसमें वर्ब इज इन द एक्टिव वॉइस when its form shows that the subject is the doer of the action. जैसे कि मैंने आपको एक एग्जांपल दिया, मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देती हूँ. सीता बेक्स दी केक. ठीक है, ये हो गई हमारी एक्टिव वॉइस. इसमें डूअर कौन है, सब्जेक्ट कौन है, सीता. क्या वर्ब कर रही है, बेक कर रही है. और क्या ऑब्जेक्ट है, क्या बेक कर रही है, केक कर रही है. ठीक है, तो ये हमारा सेंटेंस हो गया एक्टिव वॉइस में. लेकिन जब हम इसे पैसिव वॉइस में करते हैं कि क्या किसके द्वारा बनाया गया ऑब्जेक्ट, जब सब्जेक्ट के द्वारा किया जाता है तो वो पैसिव वॉइस कहलाती है. अब आप इसका पैसिव वर्जन देखिए. द केक वॉज बेक्ड बाय सीता. तो ये है इसकी पैसिव वॉइस. सब्जेक्ट जो है वो ऑब्जेक्ट बन गया, ऑब्जेक्ट जो है वो सब्जेक्ट बन गया. तो ये अब सब्जेक्ट है यहाँ पर, ये ऑब्जेक्ट है, और वॉज बेक्ड इज़ द वर्ब इन दिस सेंटेंस. तो इसी के बेसिस पे बहुत सारे रूल्स हैं जो आप मेरी दूसरी वीडियो में देख सकते हैं. अभी हम स्टार्ट करते हैं अपनी बुक एक्सरसाइजेस. कम टू दिस. ए फॉर ईच सेंटेंस इन द एक्टिव वॉइस टू सेंटेंसेस हैव बीन फ्रेम्ड. एक गलत है, एक सही है. सही वाले को करते हैं. सीता बेक्स द केक. द केक्स आर बेक्ड बाय सीता. Everyone loved Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa was loved by everyone. The guard stopped the train. The train was stopped by the guard. Dog chased the strangers. The strangers were chased by the dogs. Granny told us an interesting story. An interesting story was told to us by Granny. Call in the doctor at once. The doctor should be called in at once. The customers formed a queue. A queue was formed by the customers. We have completed the task. The task has been completed by us. The children sang the carols. The carols were sung by the children. We all know the truth. The truth is known to all of us. Rimi made a special dessert for everyone. A special dessert was made by Rimi for everyone. The children enjoyed the salted lassi. The salted lassi was enjoyed by the children. The audience applauded the singer. The singer was applauded by the audience. The gardener has planted 5 saplings. 5 saplings have been planted by the gardener. Your brother taught us painting. Painting was taught to us by your brother. ठीक है, एक्सरसाइज बी पर आते हैं. Moving on to the next page. Do you like reading comic books? Have you ever wondered how they are made? The following sentence tell you the process of creating comic books. Change them to passive voice. If the voice of the sentence cannot be changed, mark a cross. ठीक है, इस प्रोसीजर पे आगे बढ़ते हैं. The creator of the comic book thinks of a theme. A theme is thought by the creator of the comic book. The creator writes the story and dialogues of the comic book. देखो इसे ध्यान से. The story and the dialogue of the comic book were written by the creator. R. The creator gives the finished story to the penciler. The finished story is given to the penciler by the creator is given. The penciler draws the overall look of the comic with the pencil. The overall look of the pencil is drawn with the pencil by the penciler. The inker gives the penciler's work a finished and complete look. A finished and complete look is given to the penciler's work by the inker. The colorist colors the inker's work. The inker's work is colored by the colorist. The letterers add words, speech bubbles, and think bubbles to the comic. Words, speech bubbles, and think bubbles are added to the comic by the letterer. An editor checks the work to check if something is wrong. The work is checked to check up something is wrong by an editor. Now the printer prints the comic book. Now the comic book is printed by the printer then. यहाँ पे then लगा देना THEN. Now starting में नहीं आएगा. The comic book is printed by the printer then. A publisher may sell the comic book as an e-book too. The comic book may be sold as an e-book by the publisher. You can pick up your copy of the comic book at the nearest store or an online store. The copy of the comic book can be picked up at the nearest store or at an online store by you, or you can download the ebook from an online bookstore. The ebook can be downloaded from an online bookstore by you. Fill in the blanks to complete the passage in the passive voice. Poetry is one of the oldest crafts practiced by humans. To make the poetry, the clay is first softened, 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 and smoothed, smoothed. Then it is shaped, shaped by the potter's wheel by using a mold. The clay is turned, turned, round on the potter's wheel. It is given, given, a specific shape by the potter. The clay object is polished and pressed using the hands to give it a design. Colored fireproof substances are used to decorate the clay objects. Different colors can be sprayed, sprayed, over it. Finally, the clay object is baked into a kiln to make it hard and strong. ये एक प्रोसीजर दिया हुआ है जिस प्रोसीजर को हम अब पैसिव वॉइस में कंप्लीट करेंगे मेडिसिनल टी बनाने का. ठीक है, मैं बोलती हूँ, आप अच्छे से इसको सुन कर लिख लेना. 1 cup of water and 3 tablespoons of milk were put in a saucepan. An adult was requested to heat the pan. A pinch piece of ginger was grated, grated, and added in the milk water with 2 cloves and 1 tiny cinnamon was added. It was brought to a boil. Tea leaves were added when it started bubbling. It was simmered for a half of a minute. An adult was requested to take it off the stove and it was poured into a cup. The teaspoon of honey was stirred into it, stirred, stirred into it. बन गई आपकी मेडिसिनल टी. ठीक है, अब इस सेंटेंस में भी कंप्लीट करते हैं. चलिए. Experiments have been conducted by the scientists to test the theory. Scientists have conducted have conducted experiments to test the theory. Dinner will be cooked by us for them. We will cook dinner for them. The children will have to be taught to sing that hymn. The music teacher, yeah, you can write only teacher, will have taught the children, TAUGHT, how to sing that hymn. The uniforms must be worn properly every day. Students, STUDENTS, इसमें हम subject provide कर रहे हैं, must wear the uniform properly every day. You are requested to be seated. VREQUEST, we request you to be seated. Kannada is spoken in this state. People speak SPEAK Kannada in this state. Students are requested to bring their own lunch for the school trip. The school allows students to bring their own tiffin for the school trip. Have all the history assignments been submitted? Have all students submitted the history assignments? Have I received everyone's signed report cards? Has everyone given their signed report cards to me? This table has been reserved for large groups. We have reserved this table for large groups. Rewrite the sentences in the active voice. Now हमें passive में मिले हैं, हमें उन्हें active में change करना है. The curtains were drawn by me. I drew the curtains. DREW. The recipe of rasam is known to me. I know the recipe of rasam. The lost child was helped by the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper helped the lost child. The school van is driven by Mr. Mohan. Mr. Mohan drives the school van. The dress will be stitched by me in a week's time. In a week's time, I will stitch the dress. Planes are flown by pilots. The pilots flies planes. The telephone was invented by Graham Bell. Graham Bell invented the telephone. The songs were written by the students. The students wrote the songs. The restaurant was opened by them last year. They opened the restaurant last year. By whom was King Lear written? Who wrote King Lear? The wounded soldier was helped by the villagers. The villagers helped the wounded soldiers. The saplings have been planted by the children. The children have planted the saplings. The book fair was attended by 20,000 visitors. 20,000 visitors attended the book fair. By whom was the dish broken? Who broke this dish? The child was frightened by loud thunder. The loud thunder frightened the child.